Over the last 3 years, I have spent well over $10,000 on YouTube growth courses, consults, and coaching programs. And over the course of my career for the last 16 years, I have spent well over $100,000 on workshops and classes for marketing, content, and audience psychology. And I took all of that and combined it into a 1-hour video to give you the best of the best. So if you not only want to blow up your YouTube channel, but also master content creation, build a personal brand, and create a successful online business, make sure you stay till the end of this video because you will gain a tremendous amount of value. You will also save a lot of time spinning your wheels, and you will avoid making all of the mistakes that I did. And truthfully, if I was starting from zero and only had the information that I'm getting ready to share with you, I am confident to say that I would not only get monetized in under 90 days, but I would be profitable and start making money and be on my way to building a 6-figure business in less than 1 year. Let's get into it. Making over 955 YouTube videos taught me something that most creators never figure out. Content doesn't win because it looks good. It actually wins because it feels right to the viewer. Because while quality is important, it doesn't matter how polished your edits are. If it doesn't hit the brain the right way, people will keep scrolling or stop watching your videos shortly after they started. I'm going to show you how to ethically use viewer psychology to hook your viewers, keep them watching longer, and eventually turn them into loyal fans and customers. This is the invisible system behind every viral video and every high-ticket sell. And if you master this, you'll not only skyrocket your views, it'll actually make your content impossible to ignore. And to help you out even further, at the end of this video, make sure you go in today's video description to download my free GPT. It's my free AI that's packed and preloaded with all of my frameworks, title formulas to help you write better videos, get more clicks, and overall level up your content. Now, people don't click necessarily because they want to feel informed. They click because they feel something. Something is emotionally pulling them to click on your video. But when it comes to content, not all viewer emotion is equal. Because while curiosity and desire are both driving forces that make people click, the number one emotion is actually fear. Now, I'm not talking about horror movie fear, where they're like fearing for their life, but more so subconscious fear. The fear of missing out, the fear of not knowing, the fear of being left behind, the fear of not being enough. Because a little pro tip, great content subtly mirrors the fears that your viewer has, and it makes them feel seen. And then you can use that to keep them hooked and then show them a way out. Now, one could argue that this is even like manipulation, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it as ethical emotion alignment, because you're not just trying to manipulate people to get views and force them to watch, you're trying to help them. But the problem is, most viewers are problem aware, they're not solution aware. So they know something's going on and they're afraid of it, but they're not committed to finding a cure, and it doesn't really pull them in the same way as fear does. So you're not creating fear out of thin air or lying to them, you're just revealing what your audience already feels, even if they haven't admitted it to themselves. And here's a simple fear framework that I use. Number one, target the fear silently. Don't just come out of the gate and say you'll fail. Just show them someone like them failing. Number two, you want to tease the transformation early. So here's an example. I used to feel like content was pointless until I understood this. Number three, you want to build a little bit of tension. So press on the fear, but also add a little bit of urgency. Number four, right after this, you also want to follow it up by delivering hope. Show a clear, believable solution. And number five, you want to redirect to action. Comment, watch next, buy, or sign up. Because even though they have fear and you're targeting that, no one is ever going to buy or become a fan if they don't trust you. You're trying to get them to like, know, and trust you. So this is going to take time. But with an effective strategy, you can speed this up to days, not months or years. Now here's a really good example of this. Let's say you're selling something that's going to help somebody attain a goal. I'm just going to use fitness, for example, because most people probably don't like the way they look, or that obviously everyone can improve in some way. But instead of saying, this is going to help you lose 20 pounds in 60 days, here's a better way to frame it. Most people will spend years going back and forth, not happy with the way they look. And it's not even necessarily that they're lazy, it's just because they don't know how to put a strategy in place. So now you've triggered the fear, like the wasted time and the irrelevance. You introduce curiosity, like there's a why, and then you can tease your system or your solve. So it's not always about the transformation, It's also about getting away from pain, fear of wasting time, fear of not getting it, the fear of not knowing how to do it. And another example, like with content creation, most creators, including myself, have dealt with burnout. And most people will preach hustle, hustle, hustle. But instead of that, I would actually choose to frame it like this. Most creators don't burn out because they're lazy. They burn out because no one showed them how to build content that actually builds income and is centered around what they love and what they're passionate about. Because instead of just pushing through and trying to go harder and relying on motivation that's far and few in between and doesn't really happen often, if you are doing something that you love and creating a great living while doing it, it's a lot less likely that you're ever going to experience burnout. Hey, before I keep going, like I said, you can get my free GPT in today's video description. Click on the link, it'll take you to ChatGPT. It's free. It's going to help you to take everything that you're learning in this video and streamline it to not only use it more effectively and faster, to stop you from wasting any more time. Now, on top of fear, curiosity is another great emotion. And this is actually a driving force that can be stacked on top of a foundation of fear. So like instead of saying this tip will help, say something like most creators think this helps. And actually, I used to think this as well until I found a better way. You're still trying to give them a tip, but you're just framing it different out of curiosity as a driving emotion. And in the content game, that's something that we like to call the curiosity loop, because you're causing like a loop, like a racetrack loop, because as soon as you put the curiosity in, they're going to be going around thinking about this until they find the solution. And little pro tip, after this, you can even add in a story, just a little micro story to kind of show a transformation. So start with a little bit of pain and then show progress, whatever this looks like for your niche, because all you're trying to do is get trust. So your viewers should actually feel like you are telling their story better than they could. Most small YouTubers are actually building their channels backwards. They're chasing views before building real value. They're studying algorithms before ever trying to understand viewer psychology. And they're focused on just uploading and posting more without ever stopping and asking, why should anyone care? Why would anyone even want to watch these videos? And while this can seem extremely discouraging, I'm here to bring you hope, because my other channel has right under 60,000 subscribers. It's fully monetized. But when I first started, I did everything wrong. And the only thing I consider myself an expert on is knowing what not to do. So my goal is to just be raw, real, and cut the fluff and give you the exact framework of what it actually takes to grow a YouTube channel, get monetized, and do it in the shortest amount of time possible. So if you're stuck under 1,000 subscribers, you're not monetized, or you're getting low views, make sure and watch till the end of this video, because this is not just another get views quick gimmick or grow your channel in 20 days or do this to go viral. This is honestly something that I was able to do while working full-time, being a father, husband, and a business owner of 16 years. So if I could do this, you can definitely do this. Now, looking back, the biggest thing that I could see is that most YouTubers, including myself, don't really fail from lack of effort. They fail from lack of clarity. And this will make most creators focus on output instead of outcome, because it will put them in a publish hamster wheel instead of looking forward and trying to figure out a purpose-driven path. Yes, posting more does increase your chances of getting seen. You don't necessarily need more uploads. What you need is actually more alignment. You need to know who your channel is for, the problem that you solve, a breakdown of your avatar, and your plan and strategy going forward. And this can seem very counterintuitive, because while you just want to create videos and go, if you just stop and take the extra step to plan all this out before you ever hit record, I promise you, your growth will skyrocket and you'll become an overnight success, and people will start asking you, how did you do it? And to help you out with this even further, make sure you download my free YouTube growth coach at the end of the video. Like I said, it's free. Download it in the description below. Now, this is the exact roadmap that I use, and after refining it, this is what I take every single client through before we even work on a strategy for their channels. Step 1 is clarity. Who is your one avatar? What pain are they stuck in, and what transformation are they chasing? Without this, every video is a shot in the dark. After you've identified this, the next thing is your content. Now, your content must be positioned, not just posted. So use my one problem, one promise, one path framework. Every video should solve one real problem, make one emotional promise, and give one tactical step forward. This will inherently bring you to step number 3 and cause you to build authority. Now, on top of that, use storytelling, social proof, and viewer psychology to earn trust faster. Your goal isn't to look polished, it's to look understood. Because on my other channel, my first monetized video didn't really go viral. It solved one specific problem for one specific type of creator, and then it invited them to go deeper, which leads me to step number 4, monetization. Now, monetization isn't all about AdSense, it's about alignment. When your content speaks to a deep problem, you can offer a solution even before you hit 1,000 subscribers. And that's actually how I sold Purpose Mastery on my other channel. I started doing this and collecting emails before I ever became monetized. Now, the YouTube Partner Program is great. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like getting paid every month for doing what you love and talking about what you want to talk about. But when you have a product or service that you can offer to help your audience go deeper and serve them at a higher level, it truly is amazing because you're helping them and you're making a great living while doing it. And just to break this down, I've had videos with a couple thousand views make more money than creators I know that get 50,000 views on a video with no offer, because my video was positioned to offer a specific solution for one person, and their video was just about making content. Now, you don't just need more views, you need alignment. But when you get aligned, obviously the more views that you get will skyrocket the process and make you more money a lot quicker. Now next, I want to kill 3 lies that honestly I feel like are destroying every YouTuber in 2025 especially. Number 1, you don't need to go viral. You actually need to become valuable. Number 2, you don't need a big audience. You actually need a dialed in, loyal, specific audience that you can serve at the highest level, earn trust, earn credibility, and in return, they will become loyal, thriving fans, and not just subscribers, but actually buyers. And the third lie is that you have to go full time and this has to take up every single hour of your day, which is a huge lie. Because when I actually streamlined my process and got locked in, I was able to do all of this while working less than 5 hours a week, being a full-time business owner, father, and husband. And honestly, one of the biggest driving factors in all that was learning how to utilize AI the right way. And like I said, you can get my free GPT, my free AI, and start creating effective content a lot quicker. Like I said, download in the description below, it's free. Posting more is not gonna make you grow faster. I don't care what anyone says. If your content is not lined up and it's not good, no one is gonna click. There are tens of thousands of videos being uploaded to YouTube every hour. Look at the data. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because there's a lot of demand. But if you can position yourself to help a specific type of person, you're not only going to set yourself apart, you're also going to be able to have real impact, bring real value, and earn real income. And now that you know the strategy of what you need to do going forward, you have to get leverage so you're not just working harder, but you're working smarter. And there is a way to do all this that will allow you to grow more in 3 months than most YouTube channels will over the course of 3 years. I just wanted to spell this myth right off the bat. Working harder will not save your YouTube channel. But if you work smarter, you can definitely grow faster than anyone else. But you have to be consistent, be disciplined, and apply what I'm showing you today. Honestly, for my first 100 videos, I was doing everything. I was coming up with ideas, I was filming, I was scripting, I was editing, making the thumbnails, and I was exhausted. And to top this off, I was still stuck under 1,000 subscribers. And looking back, I can clearly see why. I was treating productivity like it was the goal. But what I wasn't doing was building systems, multiplying my effort, and I was grinding for like 1 view at a time when other creators were using leverage to create content systems that even operated without them having to be there. And that's when I discovered the leverage gap. And once I crossed that gap, my output, my income, and my mental health increased dramatically. And for me personally, this was all right in front of my eyes the whole time because as a business owner of 16 years, I can't do everything. Now, I started off solo by myself, but eventually I built systems, processes, started to delegate. And why this doesn't happen overnight, the good news is, especially for content creators, you don't have to have employees. You can utilize AI. And I just want to expose the huge lie that society has taught you. Working more hours equals more results. And while that might be true to some extent, that will have a cap and your ceiling will be hit pretty soon. Because research has shown you get approximately 90,000 hours of productivity in your lifetime. And if you spend all those hours grinding, you're never gonna scale, because real productivity isn't necessarily about input, it's actually about leverage. How much output you create from 1 hour of your effort. And just to explain this a little bit better, let me just get raw and real with you. You can do everything. You can come up with ideas, you can script, you can edit, and you can post your own YouTube videos. And if you're aiming for quality videos, you're probably gonna get like 4 videos a month, because if you're working full time, if you're a parent, whatever it is, you have other things in your life going on. Or you could actually stop, take a few steps back to catapult yourself forward. You can use AI to write close drafts you just have to refine and finalize. You can batch record multiple videos in 1 hour, and then you can use AI to repurpose those long videos into shorts. And whether you delegate a video editor or you use AI video editing software like Glink or Descript or CapCut, and then you could just finalize it, and then you could spend 1 hour uploading and scheduling 1 month of content. Now this will overall take about the same 8 hours, but your output is gonna be 10x. That is real leverage. But I'm just gonna be real with you. Even after I discovered this, I faced a huge struggle, because here's the harsh truth I had to realize. You are going to have a brain trap. See, in your brain, dopamine is something we can't live without. And your dopamine system is actually addicted to immediate rewards, answering comments, posting today, and chasing views. So when it's actually time to stop, build a system, look for an editor, or automate certain tasks with AI, your brain will actually resist you. And this might even cause you to feel lazy, unproductive, or even guilty. But the truth is, that's not laziness. That is miswired dopamine. Because every time you stop to build a system, you feel like you're losing momentum. And that's the output dip. That's the illusion that you're falling behind, because you're thinking everybody else is posting, you're seeing everybody else's stuff, you're comparing your channel to other creators in your niche, and that is why comparison, unless you're using it to grow, is actually the thief of joy. Because the reality is, you're actually not falling behind. You're setting yourself up to catapult forward with exponential growth. And just to get practical with you, for me, it was stopping to take time and just really do my research. Put more time into my thumbnails, my intros, and actually create systems that could automate my ideation with AI. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I hated this, because I was used to doing everything just go, 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 feeling tired, feeling exhausted, posting, and I was in the grind. But once I stopped and really built systems for all of these things, my productivity drastically increased. And something else happened. My video quality increased, and I was able to put more focus on working on my channel instead of working in my channel. So while it does take hard work, and growing on YouTube is not easy, you don't necessarily need to work harder. You need to focus on building leverage. And you do this by training your leverage muscle, pushing through the pain. Every time you build a system instead of doing a task manually, every time you document a process instead of winging it, you're rewiring your brain to prioritize output over grind. And to break this down even further, here is a practical example. You could spend your time writing a YouTube description, or you can train your AI to write YouTube descriptions for you based on the content in the video. And like I said, when you start this initially, it's going to be pretty hard, but once you push through, something else happens that honestly I didn't even expect. You actually stay in a state of flow more often. Now, flow state is just when you're in the state of everything going easy. Everything is just flowing. It's just like breathing. Content creators, we love flow state because ideas come to us and everything is just coming out effortlessly. And after realizing this and even doing some further research, I realized something. Flow doesn't happen when you're overwhelmed by busy work and stressed out. Flow actually happens when your brain sees that the reward is actually worth your effort. And because leverage will increase the magnitude of your rewards, this will inherently make flow state a lot easier to trigger. You'll actually start craving content creation again, and you'll have fun with the process, and this will make your brain say it's worth it. And like I said, I didn't have a team. I didn't have a full-time staff. I didn't have fancy gear, but I stopped, wrote out my full process of everything I have to do, and then I built a system. And you don't have to do all of this at once. Just pick an aspect, even let's just say thumbnails. Create a template in Canva that you can replicate, something that you can see that is effective. So test your thumbnails, find out which ones have done great, or even find out other videos in your niche that have outliers, and then you can create templates based off those, things that you could just plug and play. Do a batch recording shoot of just yourself making a bunch of faces. Save those in a file, and then you have a file of different faces that you can use for your videos. You have a template that's kind of preset that you can just fine tune for each video, and this is going to save you hours and skyrocket your success. Honestly, when I really think about it, I do more now in 3 hours than I used to do in 3 days. And I'm talking about 3 6 to 8 hour days working on this, mainly early in the morning and late at night. And here's a 3-step process to help you do this a little bit easier. Number 1, identify what you do repeatedly: scripts, thumbnails, uploads. Step 2, turn those into systems. So templates, prompts, things that you can take, refine, and put into a better system and process. And number 3, remove yourself from the process if it's doable using AI, automations, and batching. Because every minute you spend building leverage now will equal exponential growth in the future. Speaking of AI, I want to help you even further. In today's video description, you can download my free YouTube growth coach. This is my custom GPT that is packed and preloaded with all of my title formulas, scripting, and my frameworks. This is going to help you to streamline your content creation process a lot faster and make way better scripts, come up with better titles, and it will even help you to craft thumbnails. Make sure and download it in the description below. Like I said, it's free. And now that you know all this, here are some things you have to be aware of. When you first start doing this, it's going to feel extremely hard, and it's actually going to feel like you're doing something wrong. Writing a simple checklist might feel like it's wasting time until it saves you 4 hours a week. Training an AI might feel slow and a waste of time until it generates 10 viral video ideas within 10 minutes. Because building a system can feel like you're stepping back until it multiplies your output bigger than you could have ever imagined. Now, in 2025, an algorithm shift has happened. Go on your homepage and scroll down, and you will see creators with millions of subscribers right next to creators with less than 100 subscribers, because YouTube is pushing small channels bigger than ever. Now, YouTube used to reward high edited content like Mr. Beast retention editing with B-roll, high production value, and movie quality effects. But right now, raw, simple, unfiltered content is outperforming everything. And there's no magic behind this, because if you look around, the world has been lied to, and a lot of people are waking up. Being raw and authentic is actually being craved a lot more than these over-edited, overhyped productions, because YouTube originally was about you. It was about vlogging. It was about talking about real personal things and being real and authentic. Now, while this is a huge shift, there's even a bigger way that you can capitalize on this that most creators aren't utilizing. Do what you can do to produce the highest quality content that you can, have good audio, have good lighting, but keep the content the main thing. Produce value. And the best way to do this is by knowing your audience, knowing your avatar, and by getting clear about what they want. What pain do they struggle with? What keeps them up at night? Why are they coming to your channel? And then hammer that from every angle that you can and obsess over their problems more than they do. And they will not only watch your videos, but become loyal subscribers and eventually buyers. But speaking of all that, I have seen creators blow up without using fancy intros, no music, and just a smartphone. Because the main thing that's working right now isn't flashy, it's just being authentic, relatable, and above all, honest. And here's the really good news. This format is actually repeatable, because you don't have to focus on trying to go viral by being over the top to win right now on YouTube. All you have to do is focus on producing consistent content every single week with one viewer, one avatar, and one problem in mind. I want to talk about a creator that I've actually noticed, Connor Woodman. He posted over 200 videos his first year. Now, most of them, admittedly, they flopped, but one exploded, and then another exploded. And that seems to be the pattern with most small YouTubers that are actually breaking out. 1 out of 10 videos will pop. The other 4 are kind of average, and honestly, 5 of them will probably flop. But that's not necessarily failure. If you look at it, study your analytics, look at the data, that's actually telling you what your audience wants and what they don't want. So you're not really losing, you're gathering data and you're testing. And if you use that feedback, You can gather data a lot quicker by posting more, seeing what your audience wants, double down on that, and then focus on getting 1% better with every single upload. Because while quality does matter, when you think about it, what is quality? It's not about production value, it's about the reason for the video. Why are they clicking? Are you reaffirming that this is what the video is about? Are you providing high value content, like really getting deep, giving your viewer what they want, and then packaging it in a way that makes them curious? Because that is really the true definition of high value content. While value is overall kind of relative, like value to you and value to me can mean two different things. Overall, value is what is the reason they are clicking on the video? You know, why are they choosing to watch this? And then are you going a step above to not only give them what they want, but to go deeper and really answer the question and the reason behind them even clicking on the video in the first place. But you can't just get stuck in planning, because while you're taking days to plan, record, edit one video, someone else is posting their 9th video this week. They're getting feedback, they're utilizing the data, they're getting better, and they're improving, and they're moving and growing a lot faster than you. So yes, quality is important, but don't get into like analysis paralysis where you don't do anything. Just do the best that you can do. Done is better than perfect. So do what you can, be consistent, and hold yourself accountable to an uploading schedule. Now here's the real surprising fact. Connor doesn't really edit. There's no zoom ins, there's no B-roll, there's definitely no music, and the audio is decent. I'm not even gonna say it's good, it's decent. He's just talking to the camera. He's in the woods most of the time, and he's like in work clothes. He's not dressed in good clothing, but he's building trust. He's being relatable. And if you actually watch his videos, he's giving real value. He's actually going deep and honing in on a point and hammering that point over and over and over again from different angles. So what you don't want to do is get on camera and say, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about this, and this, and and there's a fly on the wall, and I was thinking, like, I don't know. You don't want to do that. You do want to have some scripting and have a point and some talking points or even outlines, so you can actually do your audience, a service, not a disservice, because while the video is free, they are paying with their attention. So while you have the attention, you want to utilize that in the best possible way. Now, I just want to be very clear on something, okay? These creators are not only growing by subscribers, they're actually growing by profit. I have done so much research and found creators that are making $9,000, $20,000, even $50,000 a month by utilizing all this attention with a low ticket digital product and making a digital product around what their audience wants, around the theme of their channel, not just to make money, but to go deeper, help and serve their audience at a deeper level, and truly do something that is bringing a lot of value to their audience. And in return, they're gaining trust, they're getting eyes on their channel, they're getting eyes on their product, and this is the name of the game, because the algorithm doesn't just reward one-hit wonders, it rewards consistency over and over and over again and delivering on what your audience wants. So yes, while charisma is great, you don't have to be the most charismatic person. You don't have to have the best quality. You need to focus on who your audience is. What do they want? And then hammer on that as clear and effective as you can, and focus on constantly trying to get better. If your thumbnails aren't working, it doesn't matter how good your videos are, no one will ever click, no one will ever watch, and YouTube will bury your videos and ultimately kill your channel. Because your video could literally change the person's life and give them the breakthrough that they've been waiting for. But if your thumbnails aren't packaged in a way to make them want to click, they're never gonna see it, and all of your hard work is wasted. But today, we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna show you how to create powerful thumbnails that spark curiosity, make your viewers want to click, and blow up your channel, even if you're not a graphic designer and you're doing everything on your phone. Now, here's the harsh truth that most creators don't realize. Your content could be great, but if it's not packaged in a way that people want to watch it, it doesn't matter. Think of like a store. You could have an amazing product, something that will change someone's life, but if the advertising sucks and no one sees it, no one has any intrigue, no one wants to buy it, it doesn't matter. Or you can have a decent product that is packaged amazingly, the marketing is great, people are going to want to buy your product, they're going to love it, and that product is going to quadruple in sales while the other one sits on the shelf. So while content is king, the number one most important thing is the packaging, because YouTube is a two-part game. Thumbnails will get the click, the content will keep them watching the video. But everyone that I know does this backwards, and I made this mistake for a while when I first started on YouTube. Obsess over the script, shoot the video, edit the video, upload the video, and then come up with a title and thumbnail in like 5 minutes and schedule it out. That's kind of like spending 3 days cooking a gourmet meal, taking the meat, seasoning the meat, marinating the meat, getting everything ready, and then serving the food on a paper plate and a broken table and chair and expecting people to enjoy the experience. So the first thing is put more time and effort into your title and thumbnail and make sure that they're not only complementing each other, but it's also contrasting and opening curiosity. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you need flashy designs. You just need to understand how the human brain works. Because I have studied hundreds of thumbnails, and most of them had one thing in common. They all triggered curiosity. So it's really not about the font, the colors, or even the visuals. It's about the question it plants in the viewer's mind, and they have to click on it to get the answer in the video. And out of the hundreds of thumbnails that I have gone through and researched, here are 5 proven methods that you could start utilizing right now to get more clicks on your videos. Number 1, the moment thumbnail. This one captures 1 second before something happens. You've seen these on channels and probably haven't even realized it. Number 2 is a story thumbnail. It sets up a narrative with tension, so they have to click on the video because they want to see the end of the story. Number 3, the result thumbnail. It shows the end result but hides the how, something that makes them want the transformation, and they're going to click on the video to learn how to do it. Number 4, the transformation thumbnail. It shows the before and after, but they're missing how to get from point A to point B. You're going to explain that in the video. And number 5, the novelty thumbnail. It shows something weird, new, or unfamiliar. It just makes them curious, like, what is that? Because if your thumbnail doesn't make someone question what happened, how did they do that, or what is that, they're probably not going to watch the video. Now, while getting curiosity is amazing, it's really only half the battle, because the real magic happens when you stand out. Think of it this way. When your video shows up on someone's feed, they are distracted by everything that they're seeing, and they have so many options to watch so many different videos. But if your thumbnails aren't standing out in the vast sea of content, it's never going to get clicked on. So on top of curiosity as a foundation, you need to have pattern interrupts. You need to make the brain stop and think, whoa, what is that? And here are a few ways that you can actually start doing that right now. You want to have faces, preferably your own or somebody that you're talking about in the video, with exaggerated emotion or tension. Next is big numbers, especially tied to like time, money, or challenges. On top of that, you can have familiarity bias like celebrities, apps, platforms. Think of like PayPal, Netflix, or even YouTube, something that people know, they trust, and it's just very familiar. On top of all this, color contrast. So bright versus muted colors, red versus blue, and then to tie it all up together, emotion. We're wired to look at danger, joy, surprise, or fear. Now, curiosity is an extremely strong emotion, but the number one emotion that researchers have found that makes people click on something or want to buy something is fear. I'm not talking about horror movie fear. I'm talking about fear of pain, fear of missing out, fear of not knowing. So if you can utilize that in your thumbnail and use fear and curiosity to bring forth something that they wanted to desire and learn in the video, that is ultimately the winning formula. But knowing all this, here's where most people mess up. They overdo it. Don't put 10 different scroll stoppers in one thumbnail and cram every idea that you have into one thumbnail for one video. Now, if you have different thumbnail concepts, you can do A/B testing on YouTube. It allows you to do up to 3. There's different third-party apps that you can even test different thumbnails, and I think some even have like 7 to 10 at a time. But the thing is, you have to realize it's not just about an algorithm. Replace the word algorithm with audience and think about who you're making this video for. What would make them click? So if your video or your audience is going to be targeted towards kids that are 10 years old, that thumbnail is going to look drastically different than an audience that is in their 40s thinking about how to plan properly for retirement. So you have to learn your viewer's psychology, know who your avatar is, and then make your video accordingly for that. You can't just copy Mr. Beast thumbnails unless your audience is similar or adjacent to the audience of Mr. Beast. And one of the best ways to come up with really good thumbnail concepts in a short amount of time is utilizing AI. And if you want help with that, you can download my free YouTube growth coach in the description below. It's linked below. Like I said, it's free. Grab it, use it, and start growing faster. Now, while the quality of your thumbnail should be good, the design isn't necessarily about looking pretty. It's about being understood really fast, because you only have 1 to 2 seconds to get the attention of someone scrolling past your video. And to do this really effectively, you can use a very popular method called the 3C method. Number 1, content. What is the main subject? Only include what builds curiosity, ditch the clutter. Second is composition. Where do the elements go? So use the rule of thirds or symmetry. Guide the eye to the most important part. You can do this with arrows, someone pointing their finger, or even colors that are darker and the main element, is slightly elevated. Then you can use contrast. Now this is where most creators mess up. Make your subject pop by using light versus dark, muted versus vibrant, or opposite colors. Great thumbnails aren't crowded, they're clear, obvious, and intentional. Now, one of the best ways to do this is to test your thumbnails with A/B testing. But another way to do this, and what I like to do, is scroll on your homepage 3 to 5 times a day and just take about 2 or 3 minutes each time. Whenever you come to a thumbnail that makes you stop, screenshot it and put it in a swipe file and start using different formats, because if your video is going to be shown next to titles and thumbnails that are all red and they have white letters and they're kind of crowded and they have 5 or 6 words, make a black thumbnail with red letters and use 1 or 2 words and just simplify it. That is going to stand out. So it's not about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing less, but ultimately it's about being creative, doing your research, and seeing what works. And then after that, testing, and gathering the data, getting the feedback and improving it, doing what works, doubling down, and stopping and avoiding what isn't working. And like I said, YouTube is a 2-part system. You have to get the click to get the view. But if you get the click and you lose your viewers in the first 5 to 10 seconds, YouTube is going to deem the video as a sucky video, and it's going to bury the video and ultimately kill your channel. But now that you know how to get the click, you have to keep your viewers engaged. If you're not growing on YouTube, it's not the algorithm, and it's most likely not even your content. It's actually your intro. Because you can have the best story, the best piece of content, the best advice. You're actually going to say something in your video that could literally change someone's life. But if you lose them in the first 15, 20, 30 seconds of the video, YouTube is going to kill the video, it's going to label it as a sucky video, and your channel is never going to grow. But here's the good news. All you have to do is be intentional and focus on shifting your content in a way that portrays your message a lot clearer, you're packaging it better, and you can hook your viewer and keep them watching for the entire video. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now, most YouTubers will actually script the video, film the video, edit the video, upload the video, and then take 5 to 10 minutes, come up with a title and thumbnail, and then post the video. But this is actually the backwards way to do it. Because if you really think about it, the whole job of the algorithm is to show people what videos it thinks that they will want to watch based on videos that are similar to what they want to watch, adjacent to what they want to watch, and overall, at the end of the day, that's up to the people on the other side of the screen. So the people have to find your title and thumbnail compelling. But here's where most creators mess up. If they do click on your video and your intro doesn't immediately promise and reinforce the proposition of the title, like why they clicked on the video, they're gonna bounce. YouTube is gonna look at this data and it's gonna say, this video is horrible, let's not show it to anyone else, and it's gonna flop. All your hard work, all your effort down the drain. But here's the easy fix. In your intro, you really only have one job: to meet and exceed the expectation that you have in your title and your thumbnail. Now, there's been so much debate on, the most important part of the video or how long the intro should be, but honestly, every 5 seconds should be fighting for the next 5 seconds. So you don't want to have any fluff. If it doesn't have to be said, then cut it out. The first 5 seconds really are the most important part of the video, because if people don't watch the first 5 seconds, they're not going to watch any other part of your video. But here's a really easy format that you can do. Match your first sentence to the title of your video. You don't have to say it word for word, but talk about what the title of the video is about, like what you're going to be teaching, and also mention the expectation of what they can get out of the video based on like your title and thumbnail combination together. So here's a quick example. If your thumbnail shows YouTube's most addictive viewer hack, your first line should deliver some sort of a hook variation based on that. And if your thumbnail shows your face like reacting to a crazy statistic or analytic, then you want to also portray that within the first few seconds of your video. This small micro alignment will actually build trust extremely fast, and subconsciously people will keep watching because they're like, okay, yeah, this is what I clicked on the video for. This is reaffirming that this is what the video is about. I'm going to keep watching. But now that you have their attention, how do you keep them watching even longer? This gets a little bit more complicated, but once you master it, your views will skyrocket and your channel growth could explode in a short period of time. I like to call this like a stacked or unstoppable intro. Here's the first part. Open a curiosity gap. So ask a simple question, tease a result, or even create like an open loop. So you're talking about something, but you're making them wonder what's gonna come next. Then you wanna give them just enough context to kind of tease what's coming, but they wanna watch it for the entire video. So you can briefly say, here's what you're going to talk about. It's a 5-step process or whatever it is, but just something to tease and open a loop of curiosity. And number 3, you want to show effort early. So show them that you know what you're talking about. Build some credibility and just explain why they should watch the video and that this information is going to be credible. Now that you know all these, I'm going to go step by step and break each one of these down a little bit deeper. For curiosity gaps, here's a quick example. This intro mistake cost me 10,000 views before I fixed it, ... Now they want the fix because they're curious, what did you do? And they're also thinking, have I made this mistake as well? Is this why I'm not getting any views? They're having multiple questions that are subconsciously going on in their head without them even realizing it. Next, with the context of the video, you want to very quickly and briefly explain what the video is about and why it matters to them. Not why it matters to you, but why it should matter to them and why they should keep watching it. And as far as the input bias, you want to explain to them how long it took you to make this video. Like, I spent 7 days testing 5 different intros on 4 different channels, so you don't have to. Basically, you're telling them all the effort that you put into this, and they're gonna get so much value out of this and save so much time and avoid wasting time, so it's a win-win situation and a no-brainer of why they should continue to watch the video. And then after that, you wanna tease and also show a little bit of credibility. So here's how I did this, and here's the mistakes that I made, so you don't have to watch this video, or here's 15 years of this combined into a 10-minute video, or whatever it is. But you want to also put credibility in there because everybody can talk about anything, especially things they don't know about, and you want to show why they should trust you. Now that you know the foundation of a powerful intro, I want to go a little bit deeper, because if your intro is just you setting and talking to the camera, you're going to be losing a lot of views. On top of talking, delivering value, having curiosity and intrigue, you want to be using visual anchors. So showing what you're talking about with B-roll, text, or graphics. So while you're telling them that this tip works, show a transformation or result with B-roll on top of that. This will blow up your retention. And when you combine these two things, the math doesn't even math. It's like 1 + 1 = 3 because it compounds on top of one another. Now, while you don't need jump cuts every 2 seconds and crazy sound effects and whatever, and you have to, again, tailor this to your audience, you do need to unload a little bit of front energy in the beginning. So use a little bit tighter cuts, do a little bit more zoom ins and zoom outs, and you can even edit the first minute of your video a little bit heavier than the rest of the video. In the beginning of this video, I told you how most creators make their videos, and it's also backwards. But here's the clear framework that you should use. Number 1, plan your title and thumbnail first. Number 2, match your first 5 seconds to your title and thumbnail. Number 3, use curiosity, context, and input bias to stack value. Number 4, show what's coming, don't just say it. And number 5, remember to pace correctly. Edit tighter and cut the fluff. You don't need a studio, you don't need more gear, you just need clarity, strategy, and you need to execute correctly. And now that you know the framework for a perfect, powerful intro, what if I told you there was a way that you could actually make your viewers addicted to your videos? Did you know there's a part of your brain that you have never used before? It's not because it's broken, it's because the world has trained you to never access it. It's the part of your brain that kicks in after fatigue, after everyone else has quit. But if you learn how to trigger it, you'll not only make better content, have better ideas, but you'll avoid burnout and you won't have to rely on external motivation. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And real quick, before I get into it, if you're tired of spinning your wheels, not knowing what types of content to create, you're not making any money, make sure to grab my free GPT in today's video description down below. It's custom made to help you make better videos, better titles, and to help you come up with better video ideas. Now, I'll admit, the world is full of distractions, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have a focus problem. It means you have a psychological leash on your brain. Because fatigue isn't a wall. It's a signal that your brain sends to your body to actually bring comfort. Because 1,000 years ago, comfort meant survival. But unfortunately, in the content game, comfort means death. Because every time you feel tired, distracted, or burn out, your brain isn't empty, it's trying to negotiate with you. And unfortunately, you have been taught to lose that negotiation. So you don't need more coffee, you don't need a moment to clear your head. All you have to do is push past the pain, push past the fatigue, and keep moving. Because the moment you stop obeying the fatigue, you push into a place where real creators are forged. But pushing past the pain is only one part of the equation. Here is where the massive breakthrough actually happens. You can't create consistently if you're surrounded by chaos. Every notification, every open tab, every background noise slowly pulls away at your focus. You don't need more, you actually need less. You need a fortress. And I just want you to try something. Next time you're out in public, look around, and more than likely, 90% of the people, if not more, will be face down, buried in their phones. They're distracted, they're constantly looking at everything going on in the world, and they're so consumed by this that they actually can't change what's actually going on in their world around them. Because your smartphone can actually build an empire, or it could be the reason why you never make it past 1,000 followers and you're constantly getting 0 views. It's the same tech, but the difference is the discipline. So get less, get focused, create a fortress, push past the pain, and then you can enter the state where everything feels automatic. Now, while it seems kind of magical, it's actually not magic. It's neural flow or flow state. And I've actually mastered how to trigger this every day that I sit down at my desk to create. And here's the exact process that I do. Number one, pre-commit. When I'm driving to my office, I'm committed that I have one mission. Everything else is blocked out. No matter what happened the day before or what I have to do later in the day, my blinders are on. Then I have a hard start. I open with the hardest task. Third, I have no escape. I remove all exits. My notifications are off, my phone is put up, and I actually have something covering the door. Next, I have a priming ritual. So a song or just something that I use to visualize what I'm going to do. For me, I kind of jump up and down, get my blood pumping a little bit, and close my eyes and kind of think about why I'm doing this. What is my why? And then I push through the pain and go for it. Now, initially, it would take me about 30 minutes to get through the pain barrier when I would be sprinting through it, trying to get the work done. I'd be stopping, like, I don't know what I'm doing. But once I started to master this, I can enter into the flow state about 5 minutes after I sit down at my desk. And one way that I've actually been able to do this a lot more effectively is by utilizing AI. Now, everyone is running around saying AI is going to replace you, but it's a tool. And I truly believe any tool or any weapon or whatever, it lies into the intent of the user. So if you're using it to improve you, make your life better, and do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, but still putting your personal touch on it, you're gonna blow past everyone. And again, you can download my free GPT that I've preloaded with all of my frameworks and title formulas in today's video description. If you have ChatGPT, you can access it, it's free. And if you don't have ChatGPT, you could sign up for free and still use it. So like I said, the link's in the video description below. What are you waiting for? Now, I do have to be realistic with you because even high performance systems can overheat. So if you start to crash, it doesn't mean that you're weak. It just means you're untrained in the burnout curve. Because every push does require some recovery, but the problem is most creators wait until they burn out, they crash, and they're too fatigued to get back up. And this is why most creators will start and give up on YouTube in less than 2 weeks. And I'm not gonna lie, I have actually been there myself. Now, I've never quit. I've been on YouTube for multiple years, but here is the process that I use. For like 4 to 6 weeks, I give it gas and I go. I'm not just working harder, I'm actually working smarter by having strategies, but I give it a lot of gas for about 4 to 6 weeks. And then for 1 to 2 weeks, I slow down, I put more time into my research, I look at the last 4 to 6 weeks, see what's working, and then craft my strategy for going forward. So whatever worked, I double down. Whatever didn't work, I find out why, I quit doing that, or sometimes I'll even abandon the idea altogether. Now, during the recovery period, the deceleration period, I'm not just getting rid of my phone or not looking at anything because I still have to check my analytics, but my screen time is extremely limited. And I'm also prioritizing my family, my kids, and putting more time into things that are outside of YouTube. And initially, this was the hardest part for me. But think about it like this. You're taking 2 steps back so you can catapult 10 steps forward. Because if you do this, your fire will be used to refine you. It won't be extinguished. Now, even with all this, without a proper strategy or a framework for your videos, you will still fail because without having a plan, you're just shooting more effectively in the dark. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this comment, but the truth is, it's not your gear, it's not that you're not editing good enough, and it's not really that your content sucks, because I built my other channel to right under 60,000 subscribers. It's fully monetized, and I use nothing more than my iPhone, some simple lighting, and a cheap microphone from Amazon. And no, it's not the algorithm, it's actually the people. It's the people that are scrolling past your content because they don't feel something, they don't feel compelled to click on your video. Or if they do click on your video, they don't feel compelled to keep watching your video, and they click off of it within the first 10 to 15 seconds, and YouTube will bury your videos. But here's the good news. There's actually a very quick way to fix this, and this is something that you could start implementing today. Because if your content isn't landing, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're bad at YouTube. It's honestly one of these two things. It's because you're telling the wrong story, or you could be telling the right story, but you're telling it in a wrong way. Because here's what no YouTube guru will tell you. All you need is to master storytelling and make people feel something and make them feel it very quickly and keep them feeling something until the end of your video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 storytelling hacks that you can start implementing today that will not only get you more views, but will also increase your overall channel reach and growth, giving you more leads, more sales, and making more money on YouTube. So if you're finally ready to grow, you're tired of guessing, make sure you watch till the end of this video because every step is crucial for the next step after it. So if you skip anything in the process, it's not going to work. Number 1, sell the problem, not the process. Your audience doesn't really care how smart you are. They only care if you understand what is keeping them stuck. Basically, I hate to say this, but people don't come to YouTube to watch you. They come to YouTube for them. What problem are you solving? What is in it for them? Open every video and start your story with a problem that they are feeling. Kind of like what I did with this video. You have a problem. I'm delivering a solution, but I have to identify your problem and relate with it before I can ever just give you data and strategies, because if I just pump out information, you're not going to feel anything. It's not going to relate and resonate with you, so you're not going to keep watching. So pain first, solution later. Number 2, make every sentence buy attention, because even though the content is free, your viewers are buying the next sentence with their attention. Basically, if it's boring, they're going to bounce. If it's intriguing, they're going to keep watching, because where attention goes, money flows, and you're going to build your audience by gaining trust and authority. So a simple way you can do this is cut like 30% of your script. Shorten your sentences and kill the filler words. Get right into the good stuff and quit telling them your whole life story. No one cares. In the beginning, down the road, when you build your audience, they want to know more about you, and you can use parts of your story to relate and identify their pain points and solutions and build your credibility, but basically cut out the fluff. Number 3, this one is crucial, and honestly, it took me a while to really start doing this the right way. Talk like you text. If you wouldn't text it to a friend, don't say it on camera. Now, here's the caveat, okay? You don't want to just get on there and be like, I feel like ums and ahs and have all the filler words and basically be too loose where you're not conveying the message right. But you don't want to be like you're a professional speaker in a corporate office boardroom and you're talking and having high intellect. And, you want to be trying to connect with your viewer using their language, solving their pain points, and connecting with them on a deeper level. So a really easy way to do this is take a picture of one of your friends, print it out, put it on the other side of the camera, speak to one person, because if you're getting one view or a million views, there's always one person watching on the other side of the camera. So like for this video, for instance, instead of saying, today I'm going to be discussing 5 methods that are proven strategies to amplify your growth, gain credibility with your subscribers, and skyrocket your sales in the market. A better way to say it would be something like this. I wasted months trying to figure this out, and here's what worked after I overcomplicated it, and you can start using this today. It's something I would text a friend, I care, and I can relate to your pain. Number 4, always be building to a payoff. Like, why should they watch till the end? And if you don't know, here's the thing, I guarantee they don't know either. Basically, promise the value and then deliver. Now, this is not just about tricking your audience to keep them on the video longer, but here's the thing. If you actually just vomit all the information up front, they're not going to remember it. But if you tell a story and you break it down for them and take a little bit of time, they're going to remember it. They're going to be able to actually take it and use it. Okay, they're going to understand it. And it's going to keep YouTube happy. It's going to push your content out to more people. Number 5, the 5-second emotion rule. Basically, if your viewer doesn't feel something like in the first 5 seconds, they're going to bounce and you're going to lose them forever. But if you add in some fear, curiosity, relief, hope, or shame, this doesn't have to be as hard as it sounds. In other words, like in my niche, I almost quit YouTube last week because no one tells you this hidden struggle. You kind of want to know what it is, right? So you're going to keep watching. Basically, just start your video identifying with their pain. Don't just dump data. You're not a robot. Unless you're like one of those weird AI channels that's like a fake person, but that's another video for another time. So yes, you want to be improving your content and get 1% better with every upload, but instead of just improving your content, you need to get better at improving your connection with your audience. Make people care and basically be genuine and authentic. So script, do what you can to optimize your video and do your due diligence, but be authentic and truly care, and don't just be trying to sell them something or pushing them or dumping data on them. Basically, if you care, that's going to show on camera. Your audience is going to feel that, and they're going to come back and keep watching your videos. Start applying these today, and your growth will not only skyrocket, but you're going to start building a bigger and stronger and more loyal audience. If you're stuck getting 0 views, 0 watch time, and you're not gaining subscribers, it's probably because YouTube is secretly limiting your reach. Because the reality is, no matter how good your content is, there are 5 settings inside your Creator Studio that can actually stop YouTube from pushing your channel and helping it to find your right audience. And here's the sad reality. Most creators don't even know about these. But today, I'm not only going to be exposing these, but I'm going to show you how you can make sure that your channel is optimized so you can start getting the views that you know you deserve. So if you're finally fed up and serious about growing, stick with me till the end of this video, because on top of showing you how to optimize your channel, I'm going to show you how you can start monetizing even before you get 1,000 subscribers. Like I said, you could be making great videos, but if your settings are telling YouTube to limit your reach, you're never going to get more than 1,000 views. Now, this is not about some algorithm hack or trick. This is about removing hidden blockers so your channel can be fully optimized. So setting number 1, the Made for Kids trap. Go to YouTube Studio settings, channel, advanced settings. If Made for Kids is on, you've killed your reach. Your content will only show on YouTube Kids, crushing your discovery and notifications. Always set this to no by default, unless you have a kids channel, but majority of people watching this are not going to have a kids channel. Setting number 2, the AI generated content flag. In your video upload settings under show more, there's a new option. Is this altered content? If you select yes, you're telling YouTube this is low quality AI content. Always select no unless you're legally required to disclose this. Now, fixing these 2 settings alone will drastically improve your reach on YouTube. But let's keep going so you can skyrocket your views and reach even further. Here's the hidden feature that a lot of YouTubers don't talk about. It's called playlist. Because when someone is watching your video, there's going to be a sidebar next to your video that says suggested. And if you don't have a playlist for YouTube to show your videos to the viewer, they're actually going to show your competitors' videos. But there's a simple way you can do this. Create specific targeted playlists. playlist, and then make sure every video is in a playlist. So like if you're like my channel and you help small YouTubers, have a small YouTuber playlist or whatever it is, and put every video in the playlist. This is going to drastically improve your reach, and it's going to do something that most YouTubers don't even know how to utilize. YouTube cares about one thing: keeping people on the platform. Now you want to increase your views, your retention, keeping people on your videos. But when you can create bingeable content, meaning they will watch more than, one of your videos per session, that is going to make YouTube push your channel like crazy. The fourth setting is actually going to be something on your video, your in-screen optimization. At the end of your video, never just say, "Hey, thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace." You always want to re-engage and kind of rehook to another issue or rehook to another video to bridge your audience to another video. Like, hey, if you like this, you'll definitely like this video, check it out, and then push that video to the end. Now, you have to get creative for your specific niche, but this is a great way to not only increase your views, but also increase the overall session time of your viewer, which in return is going to make YouTube push your channel like crazy. Oh, and a little pro tip: if you don't just want to link to one video, you can actually link or push them to a playlist like I told you about earlier. Now, setting number 5 is one that you have to trial and error for your own specific channel. This is going to drastically be determined based on your channel authority, your subscribers, and the overall positioning of your channel. But there's a little box that says notify subscribers, post to your feed. Now, I have tried posting videos with this box checked on and with this box checked off. And honestly, I have gotten mixed results, but my advice is try it. Do a trial and error before you upload the video. When it's uploaded to private, it's always going to be checked, but you can uncheck it if you're trying out like a new idea or something you want to reach like a different audience, and see what it does. Just try a video and then try your next video without it. This might actually improve your reach because your current subscribers might not be interested in this topic anymore. And this is going to just push your videos out to people that aren't subscribed to you, and it might help you to bring in a whole new audience that actually values your content and helps you to attract the right subscribers. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not just going to show you how to maximize your views, but I'm going to actually show you how to monetize from day one. Because views are great, but views don't pay the bills. But if you have views that are targeted at the right audience and you have a channel that's positioned for your offer, this could truly be life-changing, because smart creators don't wait until they get 1,000 subscribers or hit the monetization requirements. Because I'm not going to lie, my other channel is fully monetized. AdSense every month when YouTube pays me is great. It's like icing on the cake. But having a real digital product or something that you can sell to your audience to not only make money, but to serve them at a higher level, to solve a problem for them, has truly been a win-win for me and my audience. And if you have no idea how to make a digital product, what a digital product is, or even how to get started, I want to help you even further. In today's video description, you can get my free guide. It's going to help you with powerful hooks, and it's going to lead you to a step-by-step blueprint that you can actually start using today to avoid wasting months, start monetizing today, create and launch your own digital product in less than a few days, and start making money doing what you love. Now that you know the settings that are blocking your videos and how to increase your reach, if you really want to maximize your views on your channel, you have to keep people engaged. And one of the best strategies to do that is by crafting hooks that make your videos irresistible so your audience literally can't stop watching. And if you want help with that, make sure and watch this video, and I'll see you over there.